I'm talking with Josh and Lorenzo about Transformers 1. How's it going, guys?
Really great.
How are you doing?
Great. Lorenzo, there's so many stories that could be told within the Transformers universe. So I'd be curious to know, how'd you settle on this particular one, particularly since, unlike some of the other films, it doesn't involve any human characters?
Well, that's part of the reason, actually, is because there are no other, and that was really fun. But from about the second movie on, we began to discuss the story because it's so biblical. It's so timeless. It's so relatable. We all have people in our lives that have some way or another, maybe we're not fighting to the death, but who fall out of our lives in different ways and forms. And so the pull of it was always there. It's suddenly, we're looking always to have the audience have a new experience, and so the timing felt right now to approach this, and it's a powerful story, and thankfully we have a very talented director to deliver that powerful story.
Well, Josh, I wanted to ask about the casting because there's some great names in the cast. But as a director, how do you approach it for an animated film? Like, what are you looking for in picking the voices?
Yeah, this is one of the fun parts and hard parts about directing an animated film is you want actors that can bring those characters to life, but you don't, for me personally, I almost don't want to know who the actor is when I'm first listening to the voice, because all you're going to get when you watch an animated film is the voice. We're not going to see their face. We're not going to, I don't want people thinking about who the actor is. So what I want is the audience to buy into Ryan Pax or D16, and that's the actor. That's the person that's what they're connecting with. But at the same time, you want the actor to bring a piece of themselves. So it's actually a really difficult thing to find. And I'm still blown away at just the caliber of our cast, but also their acting and what they brought to these roles. It's just
I think
so
the other
lucky.
part that's really interesting is you don't realize how much the visual part of what that actor's face looks like plays into how you think about that voice. And as soon as you take away the face, the voice is very different. And that was really surprising each time when we were debating this. You would bring up an actor and it's like some actors' voices translate and some without their face, it doesn't feel right.
It's a talent that it's a different acting talent, and some people are fantastic at it, and you just don't think about it unless you're really trying to cast somebody like that.
As an Australian, I'd love to ask about Chris Hemsworth because he does have such a deep, recognizable voice. We know it from the Thor franchise. What was it particularly about him that you really wanted for the role?
Well, he does have he was going to do an American accent, which is great because that's how we know Optimus Prime, but we're doing Orion Pax. So the thing that for me that totally worked was he's got such weight to his voice that I totally believed that he would eventually become, the voice of Peter Cullen as a character. And so the other thing is that Chris also has a great charm to his voice. We wanted to do Orion Pax in a different way from Optimus, so he's not all-knowing. He's a little bit younger, has a little bit more swagger to him, and not as refined. And so Chris loved playing that and really brought that all to the role.
Lorenzo, you've been a producer in the industry for a long time now, and a lot's changed probably since the first Transformers movies have come out. There's a lot of streaming stuff these days. I mean, how do you approach a big theatrical release like this? Is it any different from a studio perspective and trying to get people out there and wanting to watch it in cinemas?
I think every story now goes through a greater scrutiny about, is this theater worthy in a way? I actually think it's been a little bit destructive that people are putting that on it because you don't know it's theater worthy until you put it in a theater, I think, to some degree. And I understand the question. It's not a question that we are. I think the biggest thing is we're competing with people's attention from video games and all the internet, all the different kinds of distractions. So that has put an additional burden on what you select and why you select it. I'd like to think, and I could be wrong, but I'd like to think that the quality of the movie can make it cinematic, if you would, can make it theater worthy. And so I know I advocate with studios that don't make a decision right away, about certain kinds of projects. A Transformers movie is different because it is theatrical almost by definition. It's a scale, it's an event experience. But a lot of other movies don't have that quality.
And Josh, I mean, we as the audience get to enjoy the film, but you have to work with all the cast, the craftsmen, bringing this movie to life. I'd love to know with an animated film like this, what's the greatest challenge for you as a director?
Oh, well, every day I have to answer a trillion questions, and whether it's you think about it, anything you see in the movie, nothing exists. It's all fake, right? So we're shooting this right now. We've got what we're wearing. We've got us as people. We've got things kind of for free as a live action film, but in animation, you have to build all of it, even down from, the color of the sky down to what the scratches on their skin looks like up close, So there's a million questions a day, but at the same time, that's the fun of the job, and it's all working with the cast and the crew, the amazing artists at ILM, just to create
Here
something.
in Sydney.
Yeah, it's specifically here in Sydney.
Yeah.
And phenomenal, and it was so much fun. I had such a blast. I've been here probably 5 times in the last 2 years, which was awesome, just to spend some time with the team and to record Chris, and I love it. It's a great job.
And I guess I'll finish up just quickly. Plans now going forward for the franchise?
Well, we definitely have some story ideas for if we're successful with this movie. We have some story ideas we want to explore, and we've just begun that process. He and I are very much in sync creatively, and so it's been a really wonderful experience. And in a way, it's brought, I think for myself anyway, it's brought the best part of my creativity working with Josh. And I think that's really exciting to contemplate doing another movie, these 2 characters have a lot more to go. I'll say that. They have a
All
lot
right,
more
I enjoy the tease. I'll leave you to it. Look, I'm looking forward for Australian audiences to see this film. Thanks, guys, for chatting with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.